would die for my rights, and I would die for my voice to be heard. And it's just a sad note that almost everybody that has stated their voice has died in the past. What I want you guys to take from this is myself, Glenn, the victims, we're all still alive. We're all still alive. When this incident has occurred over in Boston, over in Ferguson, over everywhere else, these victims have died. So it wasn't the voices being heard, it was everybody else speaking up the voice that they couldn't. Right now, we're still alive. We're still alive, so our voices can be heard. Right? This image is what needs to be put out there. Right? Your voice is what needs to be put out there. On this camera, you don't have to speak or nothing like that. We just want to make sure that you're in the video. And in this video, we are trying to make this viral. What people realize, what people need to realize is going on. Alright? This is what an article won't show. And I'm tired of reading long articles of just nothingness telling me that my area is gang related and whatnot. It's crazy how our area is gang related, but yet we're getting kicked out of our own area that's gang related. So whenever we show up to our area, we are the gang that is gang related. Does that make sense? Exactly. So if this is our community, meaning it's not just black, it's not just brown, we are just humans in general. And what that is what this shows the unity of community. If you look around you, we're not just all black here. Not just all white, not just all Asian or brown, we are a community. Alright. So my heart is heavy and I can't thank you guys enough. This is part 1 of part 2. Part 1 is this. Alright, part 2, like I said, it's gonna be one of those. Here's the day, here's the time to show up. So we will have a large number. Not this large, it's gonna be a quick walk. Quick walk of our gentrified community. Alright. Glenn, I have some things to say. After that, if there's anything you guys want to say, this is your time to speak as well. Don't get me wrong. It's not just, once again, a spotlight of me and Glenn. Take plenty of pictures. We're going to make sure that you get in on this video as well, because the community is the youth, the younger people, the older people, the wisdom, the history, the business owners, the last business owners.
This is the crime scene. I'm not talking about the shooting of last Thursday. I'm talking about this. This is our crime scene in Alberta. We walk in what used to be our neighborhoods and get looked at as if we don't belong. So-called minorities are under attack in Portland. Everyone wants to point the finger at gang members, our children, and point to gang violence as an issue. But what about the socio-economic conditions that incubate and breed gang violence and other crime? The hate you give little infants fucks everybody. If all you get fed every day is a spoonful of hate, eventually you're going to take that out on those closest to you. And for us, as in the 6% black community in Portland, that is us. If you have a community ripen with poverty, a state, not only a city, who has a storied history with racism, where blacks make up roughly 6% of the population, with 40% of traffic stops, do you see an issue? Do you see an issue?
Yes.
If you have a police force that has Nazi sympathizers working for them still, Mark Kruger, men in uniforms who assault and arrest our senile elderly, but who are allowed to work police brutality protests, Mark Boothridge, officer, and a mayor who shows up after shootings for PR opportunities and then calls for the violation of black and Latinos' Fourth Amendment rights as American citizens. Do you see an issue?
Yes. Blue to Mayor Hills.
This is our moment to not demonize these kids and throw them in cages like animals. This is a key moment in the community where we can reach the parents of these kids and help them help their children get on the right track. Because at the end of the day, we will need warriors fighting side by side for and with us, not at war with each other over things that are relevant in the next 5 years. Come on. If Mayor Hales feels that he and his bureau can patrol the streets, harass and terrorize our communities, then I say we have the right to question the police every time they step foot into our communities and approach one of us.
Yes.
Whether it's gang violence, police brutality, or racism, this shit does not stop until we stop it. As I've said before, the media does not control the narrative. They do not control perception. The narrative belongs within context. The context is wrapped in truth. The truth is power. The power has always and will forever remain in the people.
Yeah.
Thank you. if anybody has any questions, feel free, but just take in mind that we cannot answer questions specifically about the case. But feel free, any media, any citizen.
And if anybody has a question, I have a question to ask you guys.
Yeah.
What is community? Anybody?
Anyone, what does community mean to you?
To me, community means everything that you are inside. And that means everybody that taught you, everybody that you grew up around, the place where you live, the place where your family is, where your friends are, where you feel like you're at home. And the worst thing about the word community and what is actually happening to my community right now is that I grew up right here on this street. And the only thing that makes me hurt even more than anything else right now is that I work on this street. But when I'm walking down this street, I don't see any of my family. I don't see any of my friends. I don't see my community. I see random faces from people that are from another state that have moved here that think Portland is so cool and Portland is so awesome, but they don't know anything about the history of this city at all. That's not my community.